Well, they don't look like me. They don't talk like me. They don't look like me. They don't talk like me. They don't look like me. They don't talk like me.
Oh yeah, you know what time it is? It's time for the comic shop with your host Eugene, Capon,
and Pat Mest, but I thought you were going to say it's time to get ill. But that's the Beastie Boys fan in me. So, but it's all good.
You know what?
It's
It
all
is
good.
time to get ill.
I really wanted us
here
to get
on
ill
the
there,
comic
but
shop.
I guess not. Maybe another time.
Maybe one day we'll be big enough to get them on the show.
Yeah, we'll reach ill status. But yeah, how you been? Doing well?
Not too bad. We did the 4th of July weekend or week.
Good.
You know, where you have to take care of all the after party stuff.
Nice. Well, I mean, and there is a checklist for the July 4th. You got to have hot dogs or a burger. You got to see some fireworks. Preferably be somewhere with some sunshine. It's good times.
Absolutely. How was yours?
Not that great. I ended up having to work a lot, but I did get to catch a little bit of fireworks and have some decent food. But it was pretty minimal. But it's okay.
Okay.
So.
I got together with some friends. You know, I live on a Indian reservation, so we have all the big and bad fireworks.
What, you're telling me you can get fireworks out there? No.
On the reservation? Only the best fireworks.
Oh, man. It's like, oh, you're not supposed to shoot them off in cities, but everyone knows where to go to get the goods. And so, yeah, it's pretty hard for the police to enforce. People are going to shoot off fireworks, okay? Just let it happen.
Oh, man. It's like 4th of July brings the drug dealers out in the reservation when pushing fireworks.
That's a good combination. Drugs and fireworks.
Someone's got to let everything off.
It goes in hand. But speaking of fireworks in America...
Are we talking about Michael Bay and Transformers 3?
One word, awesome. You know
and
it.
Optimum.
Good
Definitely a movie in its prime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say it sent some shock waves through the industry, you might say.
I would definitely say that.
So, yeah, man, it's been out close to 2 weeks. It's pulled in, about $650 freaking million. How'd you feel about it? What'd you think? What were you feeling when you left the theater?
I wish I had Michael Bay's paycheck.
I wish I could meet Michael Bay. I know a lot of people like to hate on Michael Bay, but you know what? The man is good at what he does, and you might not like it, but he does it well. So just sit back and enjoy it. He makes summer fun.
As everybody probably knows, this is the third Transformers movie released, by the same company. Michael Bay directing all of it.
Every 2 years.
Shia LaBeouf, rocking his thing. And, always on his arm is a little piece of eye candy. Mm-hmm. And this particular movie was no exception. It's probably my favorite out of the three. 2 being my least favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I've kind of thought about it more, I would say 1 is still my favorite, but I would put 2 and 3 on par for several reasons. Because there are things that I really like in 2 and then things that I hate in 2. And there are things I liked in 3, but I did not like in 3. So they almost kind of balance each other out. But 1 is still my favorite because I just don't think you can replace that shock and feeling of being a kid in the candy store when you see Optimus Prime transform for the first time and all these other characters in the first film. I just can't recreate that in the other ones, so that's why number 1 is still my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the new movie, what was your favorite part?
Favorite part? Ooh, a lot of good parts, but I gotta go with my boy Optimus Prime. The guy's already a badass. Now, you take away one of his arms and you can think, okay, these other guys are going to have a chance. No, sir. You step back a few. Optimus Prime still brings it. One-armed, beats the shit out of Megatron and Sentinel Prime to save the freaking day. It's classic. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It gets you jacked up. You just want to salute a rippling American flag and just punch a terrorist. It's just good stuff.
Or punch the fighting Yank.
Yes. God, I hate the fighting Yank.
I hate that guy so much.
So good. What about you, man? What was your favorite part?
When Ken Jeong basically stands up with 2 handguns, points them straight at the head of that Decepticon, the bird one, and basically is like, make my day. Or he just says some epic line where you see like the sweat just pouring down.
He's got the eyes moving back and
so
forth.
so intense.
Yeah.
And then he gets pushed out a window.
He did end up dying, so that was kind of a bummer. But he had a good part in it. He was funny. And it definitely seemed like they tried to improve the live-action cast over number 2. They had Patrick Dempsey showing up, John Malkovich, and as mentioned, Kim Jong and Frances McDermott. So, yeah.
Of course, all the original cast minus Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. I'm glad that they at least made a reference to the fact that they were no longer together. I hate it in movies when, if they would have just not pretended like it didn't happen, it's just always with someone new, that would have bothered me. So, I'm glad that they actually made a reference to
It's so great. You can create an entire storyline by one sentence in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. She dumped me. We broke up. There. Boom.
That's enough of it.
You don't have to go that much further into it.
I'm with a new little hottie. She's kind of British.
I don't know what Shia LaBeouf is packing, or his character Sam Witwicky, but he's doing very well. Oh no, Megan Fox dumped me. Oh no, now I'm with a Victoria's Secret model. Dang it. Life is so hard, Sam. So hard. And she's providing for him.
Wicky's mom, even mentioned that.
She does, yes, yeah. So awkward.
I have no idea how you got the first one. You got a second world-class hottie, and unless you have a giant, Mom, what the hell?
Mom, come on, come on. But no, it was a fun film, and it was nice they introduced a couple other Sentinel Prime into the mix, voiced by Mr. Leonard Nimoy, and then
Spock.
That's right, and then Shockwave was in the film. He's a cool character, badass villain.
He's just grim. Very
dark, very cool. He had a cool look to me, just like the one red eye.
Even for Decepticons, he looked particularly dark.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I never thought Starscream was that intimidating. I think it was his voice. I couldn't take him that seriously. He was just too bumbling, and you could tell he's a second-in-command kind of guy. He would never be the true badass of the movement. Yeah.
That's what you have Megatron for.
That's what you have Megatron for. So, new hottie or old hottie? Megan Fox or Rosie?
I like Rosie.
You're going to take the Rosie?
I am definitely down for the Rosie. You know what? I think Megan Fox is, very, very nice to look at, but she doesn't resonate intelligence with me.
I thought the new girl did bring a little bit more class to the role.
I thought she brought a lot more class.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, she was about the same acting-wise. They were both mediocre actors, but she did bring more class. Yes, I stand corrected. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Less trashiness.
Yes, less trashy. But at the end of the day, we all know what they're there for. They're eye candy. They're not going to add to the movie a lot, but they're not going to take away from it. It's nice to look at.
Well, there has to be, some extra reason besides saving humanity for Witwicky to rise up against all odds and save the day.
I mean, Shia LaBeouf is a nice-looking guy and all, but that's nothing to write home about. So you got to add that in. But overall, a fun summer flick. I left satisfied. I had more likes than dislikes, and you always gotta. It's talking robots from outer space fighting each other. I mean, how can you take it too seriously? Just enjoy it and have fun with it. So,
you know what? Yeah. Alien robots that transform into appliances.
Yeah.
How do they reproduce?
Oh, they probably just like some sort of spark thing. Yeah. How about a least favorite part of the film?
At the very end, where the teleporter pods or whatever those things are, the pillars.
Yeah, the pillars. Yes.
Basically go down, and all of Cybertron suddenly gets sent back. Which it's in the viewpoint, which makes sense, but all the resonating Decepticons that are around suddenly get pushed back as well, and only the Decepticons, which it's weirdly convenient, but it doesn't help the authenticity of the story.
It did seem to wrap up a little too neatly, but again, it's Transformers. The plot is going to be thin, but you just kind of go with it and have fun. So, but I can definitely see that. I would say probably my least favorite part was I didn't like the two. I thought the two little small bots were not as bad as the two in Transformers 2, but they were still a little on the annoying side. And then I felt like after that big climax fight scene, I thought the end was a little abrupt, and maybe it was a timing issue with the final edit.
It was already like 3 hours long.
Well, I mean, it was 2.5, but that's still a real long film. I just felt like, okay, fight. We beat up the bad guys, Optimus Prime, badass line, credits. It's just like, whoa, ease me out of this. Give me a few short, quick scenes to lead out of this to kind of wrap everything up. And I was just like, whoa, okay, there it is.
All right.
That just happened. So, okay.
Like, were you gonna start talking about how racist the two robots from the second one were?
I don't think they were intended to be that way. I don't think someone was like, oh man, you know, this would be really cool. Like, it kind of felt like that a little bit, but I don't think that was the intent at all of anyone involved with the film. I think they were just trying to do it for comedy purposes and something that kids would laugh at, like younger kids.
The tweens.
Yeah, the twins. You know, it was intended probably for the younger audiences. It's just, you know, lowbrow humor. I didn't really enjoy it. I kind of cringed when they were on the screen, but, you know, that's just me. I didn't enjoy them.
You know, a lot of people were just like, two particular characters are very racist, you know, everybody on the staff hates black people, and, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Except for Tyrese.
Of course.
Yeah. But, you know, but the actor who basically did the voice for those two robots probably was the most intelligent person to explain why they had those personalities. And he got up in front of, you know, an audience and basically was like, look, you know, you have these beings, these sentient beings coming to Earth, and they're absorbing large amounts of information to basically create personalities to basically fit in, you know, the world and communicate with humans and stuff. They don't start out that way. They basically go, oh, hey, I'm going to take a little bit from radio, I'm going to take a little bit from TV, you know, whatever, you know, is going through the air. And obviously these two characters absorb like crunk radio.
Okay.
Which you know, isn't
they're exposed to a little more urban environment.
It's not far-fetched.
No.
It's just, oh, hey, you know, it's all kind of random. Not every robot can suddenly, you know, talk like, you know, Martin Luther King or, you know, start talking in like a British accent.
Okay.
Which, you know, it's kind of weird in the first place that they even, you know, sound Americanized when they could really be anything.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, that does make a lot more sense, and that puts it more in context. So that does improve kind of my view of it slightly. I think it's more so it's just they're just a little too silly for me. That's really more, I think, what it is. But I can see why people would see it as racist, but I like your perspective on that. So I think that kind of helps shift it a little bit. That's good.
Well, what if, for instance, you know, they almost reminded you like to Gene Simmons? What would you be like? That's too white, or, you know, that's too, you know, rock star-ish for a robot.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That is a good point. So I think it was more they just annoyed me than. And like I said, I don't think anyone intended like to make those, you know, them be racist. I think it just kind of, on an initial glance, it kind of might have come off that way a little bit in the second one. But
that's understandable.
Yeah, it's understandable. But I mean, overall, how would you rank the trilogy?
3 being my favorite, 1 being, you know, second. Then I didn't like 2 at all.
Okay, 1 is definitely my favorite, and then 2 and 3. About on par. I might give. My likes in 2 are kind of equaled by my likes in 3, and then they both have dislikes, so they kind of even themselves out. But like I said before, 1 is still my favorite because I felt like a kid in the candy store, to borrow your phrase. Like, I just can't replace that initial feeling of seeing it all for the first time. The transforming. It's awesome.
Well, okay.
Overall score out of 10, real quick, before we go.
9.5.
9.5?
It was pretty darn good to me.
I give it more of a 6.5, 7, personally. But
really?
We're all, you know, that's the fun of it. It's fun to debate. It's fun to talk about it.
Okay. So. You know what? We still have a contest going on. Pat, you want to fill it in?
Yeah, we still need your help with that. We appreciate your help so far. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. I believe we're up to 37 now?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's getting up there. So we thank you for your help. Help us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like you said, we're going to raffle off your names, and we're going to send you a sweet, sweet prize that you will love/hate.
Okay.
And that's, yeah. So stick around. We'll be back for part 2.
Inside, this is